So kind of a quick comparison, when you talk about the traditional IRA providers, they're really going to focus on stocks and bonds and mutual funds and really any other publicly traded securities, or maybe a bank account or a money market account or a certificate of deposit. So the self-directed IRAs, even though they're all self-directed, the self-directed programs that you hear out there are referring to those that allow you to invest in real estate and deeds of trust and mortgage loans. Notes. Now, notes you need to define. There's lots of different types of notes out there, but you can essentially buy any kind of note in your IRA. The question is whether it makes sense to do that. We'll talk a little bit about what makes sense and what doesn't later. Tax lien certificates, limited partnership interest, LLC interest, and there's much more that you could do in there. We've had some very interesting requests over the years. Probably the most interesting was a client who wanted to buy ostriches inside the IRA. And the answer is you could certainly do that, but the bottom line is you probably wouldn't want to do that. So it just shows you how broad the opportunities are. The question is whether it makes sense. So let's focus on what the permissible investments are, and then we'll talk about what some of the non-permissible investments are, which are very small in number, and also what the prohibited transactions are. So this kind of gives you a flavor for what you can do, what you can't do, and what you want to steer clear of. And fortunately, almost anything is on the table in terms of types of investments. So focusing on real estate, though, any kind of real estate can be acquired inside of your IRA as an investment product. Any kind of note that's secured by a deed of trust or secured by a mortgage, and even unsecured notes can be generated through the IRA. So you could certainly lend money to somebody who's not related to you and just have them sign an installment note and then charge them a rate of interest. Tax lien certificates, limited partnership interest. If you want to buy into a limited partnership using your IRA funds, you could do that. Setting up an LLC could be done. And for those of you who have searched the internet or are aware of self-directed IRAs to a certain extent, you may have heard the term checkbook IRAs or checkbook LLC type things. We'll talk about that and be very careful with that. And then in closely held corporate stock, and this is just a very brief list, there's certainly much more that you can buy in your IRA out there.